seated. Keep your hands and arms, feet and legs safely inside the train. And as always, keep an eye on your little ones.
Para su seguridad, permanezca sentado y mantenga las manos, brazos, pies y piernas dentro del tren. Y cuide a los pequeños. Gracias.
As we head into the American wilderness, we'll pass by the dusty desert town of Tumbleweed. Keep your eyes peeled for the runaway mine trains of Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. Runaway trains. Now I ask you, is that any way to run a railroad? I feel right at home here in the prairies and forests of the American wilderness. These woods haven't changed much since the days when settlers started heading west. Nowadays, the rails can carry us safely through the wild. A trip that used to take months can now be made in just a few weeks. There's plenty of deer, antelope, and elk that feed along the banks of the river. And naturally, plenty of early settlers decided to put down stakes and live here too. Of course, those early settlers weren't the first to make their home in this wild frontier. These native tribes of Plains Indians were living, hunting, and trading for centuries before we ever came along. They were the first to tame the wild horses of the American plains, long before our big old iron horses started chugging through these parts. We're almost out of the woods, folks. We're coming up on the most magical of lands, Fantasyland, a place where any dream can come true. Fly over London with Peter Pan. Set sail on It's a Small World. Take a trip under the sea with the Little Mermaid. Or be our guest at an enchanted feast in the Beast's castle. Whether you're a pixie, a princess, or just an everyday dreamer, there's always something special about Fantasyland. If you've been riding trains as long as this old-timer, you may remember the days when the circus would come to town on the local railway. Well, the circus is here. It's set up permanent headquarters as the Fantasyland Storybook Circus. This is the place to fly high with Dumbo, or join Goofy on the Barnstormer, a frolicking ride of circus acrobatics and coaster thrills. This station is also your gateway to the rest of Fantasyland and Tomorrowland. Now, please wait until the train has come to a complete stop. Gather your belongings and carry your strollers away from the platform before you start unfolding them. That way we can start loading up for the next leg of our trip. For those of you disembarking, please watch your step. And thanks for traveling with us on the Walt Disney World Railroad. Join us again real soon. If you're staying aboard, our next stop is Main Street Station.
Welcome to Fantasyland Station, folks. This will be your stop for New Fantasyland, Tomorrowland, and Storybook Circus. As the train approaches the station, please remain fully seated until the train comes to a complete stop. And to give you those two magical words of all clear, but until then, please remain fully seated. Please stay seated, folks. We're still moving.
Come on.
Please stay seated.